Teisha with Shalom TV's news update. The Jerusalem Post reports that Palestinian Authority officials in Ramallah said yesterday that they were, quote, surprised to read statements attributed to U.S. President Barack Obama to the effect that PA President Mahmoud Abbas is perhaps not interested in peace. Several media outlets reported on Obama making the statements while meeting with leaders of the American Orthodox Jewish community at the White House on Tuesday, saying that it was possible that Abbas may no longer be interested in peace and that the window for peace negotiations may already have closed. Abbas's aides said they were expecting clarifications from the United States government before commenting on the remarks. Abbas spokesman Nabil Abu Radene said the PA remained committed to the peace process and held Israel fully responsible for the current stalemate. Ynet reports that Israel's ambassador to the United Nations, Ron Prosor, condemned the atrocities committed by the Syrian regime at the General Assembly of the UN today. Prosor said that no decent person can remain indifferent in the face of violence in Syria. Prosor claimed that the dozens of Syrians recently slaughtered in Hama were the direct victims of a brutal regime that would cross any red line to stay in power. Meanwhile, the Times of Israel reports that former Israeli ambassador to the United States, Itamar Rabinovich, said the Obama administration had prime responsibility for the international community's failure to stop the killings in Syria because of the upcoming presidential elections in November. Rabinovich reportedly told Israel's Army radio that, quote, it's not Russia that's preventing intervention, Russia is the pretext, the alibi. If someone wanted to ratchet up the pressure on Syria, they could. The real bloc, he told Army Radio, is the U.S. government, saying, quote, the Obama administration is not looking for another major Middle East crisis before November. Israel's President Shimon Peres will fly to Washington, D.C. this weekend to receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian award given in the United States from President Barack Obama. Peres will be bringing a special gift for the president of several significant historical documents which have been kept in the state archives in Israel and the Weizmann archives as well. They include a personal letter sent by Weizmann, the state of Israel's first president, to U.S. President Truman, in which he asks Truman to recognize the new state. Peres will also present the First Lady with the gift of a necklace made especially for her by Israelis with special needs. It was prepared using materials made in Israel, including turquoise stones from Eilat. Two blind cyclists from Israel will be pedaling across Manhattan and Brooklyn this Sunday, taking part in the Israel Guide Dog Center's historic 50-mile bike event. Bracha Ben Abraham and Dror Carmel, who are clients of the Israel Guide Dog Center for the Blind, will be teaming up with a group of sighted cyclists to raise awareness and funds for the organization's work and to show how a partnership with a guide dog allows a blind person to resume a productive life with mobility and independence. Bracha, who is a mother of 2 and grandmother of 3, began to lose her vision at an early age. Dror has been blind since birth. However, he successfully served in the Israel Air Force as a computer specialist and is the married father of 4. He is also an accomplished triathlete. The Israel Guide Dog Center for the Blind provides blind Israelis, whether Jewish or Arab, with the mobility, independence, and companionship of guide dogs. And in our last story today, who says Jews can't play sports? Well, Max Unger and Max Fried certainly can. The JTA reported today that the Washington Nationals drafted the 2012 graduate of the Charles E. Smith Jewish Day School in Maryland in the Major League Baseball draft, Max Unger, who is 17. He played catcher at CES JDS and was drafted by the Nationals in the 36th round of the draft. This follows the MLB draft of another Jewish player, 18-year-old Max Fried, who is a pitcher from Los Angeles. He was selected by the San Diego Padres in the first round, as we reported on Tuesday. We'll definitely keep our eyes on those two Maxes, and who knows, maybe one day we'll be cheering them on from the crowd at Yankee Stadium. And that's Shalom TV's news update. I'm Teisha.